For our country we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together. So much of things that we need to see about.
Yes, indeed. So much of things we need to see about here in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. It requires all hands on deck. We need to come together to build Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. We need to come together to transform Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So again, I want to encourage all of us to do what we must do to ensure that the transformation happens. Because we want good for our children and children. In other words, we lived and we journey through life. But what we want is to make sure that what we went through, that our children and children do not go through it, meaning the struggles, the hardship, the trials and tribulations. Yes, in life you would have that, but you want it to be a little easier for your children and children. So again, I want to encourage you to be that type of person, a nation builder and not breaker, a transformer, an innovator, someone who wants to see newness and creativity come to life, someone who wants to see their community develop holistically, not just with this building or that building, but people's development, human resource development. All right, so let us put our hands to the wheel and do what we can to make it better for the next generation and the next generation. I want to welcome you to the Dynamic Hour. Last week, I was out of state, out of Grenada. I was in the diaspora on something very important. You know, there are things that must remain private and confidential, and there are things that must be public. All right? Certain things you don't want to tell people beforehand. You just want to do what you must do, go at it, and get the results, be successful in it, right? It was a very important undertaking, a very important training, to be specific, a very important training that I went to. And it was very successful. You know, sometimes you don't want to tell too much people your agenda because they may just blight you, so to speak. All right, so I went on a very important training, and it was very successful. I want to thank the folks behind it, and we now move forward. Great. So things are happening. All right, nice. So I want to start off with some positive news. That is what we must start off with, positivity. All right. So the first positive news is from Carriacou. All right. Carriacou is the first positive piece I want to play for you because things are happening for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
Brothers and sisters, this is a beautiful day. A day of hope, renewal, and progress. Our government proudly hands over 3 well-furnished Build Back Better homes.
Almighty and ever-living God, we give you thanks to bless all those who have taken part in making sure that houses are being rebuilt. We ask you to continue even blessing the work that is still underway to make sure that Carriacou, as resilient as it is being built back. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Your minister is very passionate about getting Carriacou back to normalcy. Sometimes he pushes and he pushes real hard. As a ministry based on resources and staffing, I think we are punching way above our weight.
I'm happy that we recognize the value that Grand Lake played in the restoration efforts. And we want to thank you for the support. It was not easy, as you can imagine. Everybody wants to get it poured at the same time, and it was just not practical. So you may ask, what are we providing? We are providing bath and toilet supplies, kitchen utensils, beds, mattresses, even first aid kits. When you get inside, you will have appreciation for all the things.
I really want to commend the resilience of all Carriacouians and Petit Martiniquans in the passage of Hurricane Beryl. This morning, the home here is going to represent the resilience and the importance of the enhancements that we will undertake over the next few years going forward and beyond to really get Carriacou and Petit Martinique its rightful place in the globe.
I'll start off by saying how grateful I am to the Almighty God. Had it not been for God, I don't know where I would have been. One of the first people that the Prime Minister visited when he landed in Carriacou was this place. And he had to hold back his tears. And I'm happy that 7 months later, we're now handing over a brand new, Build Back Better, more resilient, fully furnished home to Miss Florence and her family. Let's try and support those who have no income or whose income was directly affected as a result of the hurricane. Let's help them first, and then everybody else will be assisted thereafter. No one will be left behind. The rebuilding process isn't going to end tomorrow. It's a process, it's going to take time, but it is sure that we are going to help everyone.
When I leave my sweet Carriacou, I'll come back home. I know I'll come back home. I would never stay away. I would always come your way. It's one thing that I know, I'll come back home. I'll come back home. I'll come back home. When I leave my sweet Carriacou, I'll come back home. Yes, I know I'll come back home. When I leave my sweet Carriacou, I'll come back home. I know I'll come back home. For this is the place where I born. Ungrateful though I some, but as long as I live on, I'll always come. I'll always come. I'll always come. For this is the place where I born. Ungrateful though I some.
Yes, so that's Carriacou and Petit Martinique. 3 Build Back Better homes were delivered to 3 families, and they continue to press on. So they have a number of Build Back Better homes being constructed. And as they complete them, they would hand them over to the families in need. And as the Honorable Tevin Andrews said there in that piece, it will take time, but Carriacou and Petit Martinique will build back better than before because the people are resilient. The people are survivors. And once you pull together and you understand the mission, because what causes things to slow down is division, is fighting, is politics too. Because, politics could divide us. Politics could cause people not to be involved. So once you unite around that vision, that mission, you will get there together. And prioritizing those who are more in need, first and foremost, is very, very important. All right. So again, thumbs up to the Honorable Tevin Andrews, his PS, his personal assistant, and the team who continue to work assiduously or diligently in making this a reality, because they come under attack from time to time by the opposition. They attack them, they say all kinds of stuff, and it can demotivate you, you know. It can beat you down. It can say, why am I fighting? Why am I trying to help X and help Y? And indeed, I am trying my best, but here I am being attacked by those who are good at talking but not doing. So again, I thank God for giving the Honorable Tevin Andrews that strength and determination to persevere, to continue to do what must be done amidst all the attacks and all the nasty things that they would say, because the NNP surrogates and pundits, they're brutal, or they can be brutal at times, because they don't want good for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. They want bad things to befall us so they can easily ride in on some chariot or some horse or some whatever caravan back into government. But folks, as the first positive piece, we will feature another, because I believe in positivity. I believe in positivity. So the Ministry of Youth, they have extended that 5,000 grant support program, you know, the proposal aspect of it, for community youth groups or community groups to submit their proposal for that $5,000 to do some project within the community.
The Division of Youth in the Ministry of Youth and Sports has extended the deadline for submission of proposals from youth-led groups and organizations to access a $5,000 community support grant. The new deadline is the 27th February 2025. This is in an effort to give more groups the opportunity to present their projects for consideration for the grant program, which aims to support projects that address the needs of young people, promoting their personal and professional growth and development.
The Ministry of Youth and Sports is pleased to announce that the deadline for the Community Support Grant has been extended to February 27th, 2025. We have received several requests and proposals from youth-led organizations expressing the need for an additional time so they can finalize their projects. Our goal is to ensure that they have the opportunity to strengthen their implementation plan and revisit their proposal so that they can successfully execute when that time reaches.
That was Janella Edwards, Assistant Coordinator of Youth. The Division of Youth encourages youth-led groups and organizations that have not submitted their project proposals as yet to take advantage of the extension.
We encourage all youth-led organizations, if you have not submitted your application as yet, please do so and take full advantage of this additional time.
Proposals to be accepted must align with the 5 pillars set out by the Ministry of Youth and Sports for funding. They are community beautification and accessibility, human development and capacity building, health and wellness promotion, cultural preservation and celebration, and technological integration and innovation. Approved organizations must attend a mandatory project implementation training before the commencement of the project. The grant is available to only community-based youth-led organizations.
Yes, so that's a good initiative by the Ministry of Youth. So if you are out there, you're a part of a group, a sports group, a community-based group, you know, a youth group, and you want to undertake a community project, here is a good opportunity to submit a proposal to the Ministry of Youth. So they extended that period for the submission of the project proposal to the 27th, I think, of this month. So I want to encourage you to take full advantage of that. It's so good when you can do something in your community as young people and, just improve the beauty, the aesthetics, the life of your community. So please take advantage of that. It's a grant, it's not a loan. So it's a good opportunity for you to take advantage of that. The Abattoir.
During a walkthrough on Monday, a two-man team from the CARICOM Development Fund, or CDF, observed the installation and functionality of new machinery, gaining insight into the Maribor Abattoir's updated daily operations. After relying on manual processes for some time, the facility now benefits from newly operational equipment, which is expected to enhance efficiency and productivity. With the support of a local tech company to restore the machinery, the team expressed satisfaction with the progress made and the facility's growing potential. This enhanced equipment set up at the Maribor Abattoir has left the CDF pleased with the progress of its modernization efforts. The CDF team lead was Christopher McNair.
It looks as it is something that is going to contribute significantly to what it was designed to do, and that is to aid in the process of the slaughtering and cutting of meats. We provided assistance for the acquisition of a biodigester and an incinerator. The latter one obviously being very, very important for the disposal of the carcasses, once they're through with it. We were able to actually see now all of the parts working, and so that's very, very important. We were also able to see that the digester is fully functioning, and the incinerator, I believe, comes in tomorrow. So I would guess in the next week or 2 or 3, the incinerator should be in place. And hopefully by the end of March, what we will have is a fully functioning abattoir.
The initiative, which began in 2019, was aimed at modernizing operations at the Maribor Abattoir. Joel Sharp of Sharp Tech was contacted by the Ministry of Agriculture to revive the broken machines and equipment at the Maribor Abattoir. His work started in July of 2024, and he has since restored 90% of the machinery there.
When I arrived here, I realized that over 90% of the equipment were down, non-functional. The first aspect was to have a compressor up and running. The present one was totally out of function, and we were able to locate one locally where we were, and it was installed. Then we were able to realize how much of the equipment, seeing that most of the equipment needs air to function. Then we were able to see that a lot of the equipment were non-functional in various ways. A list was provided to the ministry whereby they were able to secure funding towards providing a lot of the parts that were needed to get the machines up and running. And the parts did come in, and we were able to install the parts and also do other modifications on some of the equipment so that we can have them working in a manner that will be viable to the business for a long time. And when I say a long time, within the next 5-year period, we should have the equipment functioning at maximum level.
Beyond ensuring operational efficiency, CDF has also supported the procurement of an incinerator, which will be soon implemented at the facility. Chief Veterinary and Livestock Officer Dr. Keeman Cummins described the efforts as transformative.
Improves our efficiency, right? Improve our processing time, and outside of that, ensure that we have a better quality product. So, as you know, previously we had, not much of the equipment functioning, which means that, we had quite a bit of delay in terms of processing time. Not too much a disturbance in terms of the quality of the product, but having these equipment can definitely improve or increase or enhance the quality of the product that we put out, right? So I would say it's transformative in that way. Now we have more efficiency, right? And now we can have a better product that goes out to the market.
Manager of the abattoir,
Karen Andal Samuel speaks of operational efficiency and reduction of manual labor at the facility.
Before, what we really had more a manual system here, which will take you long hours of the day to get things done. With this equipment, it will be less time, as I said. It will also enhance how we do our production and operation here at the abattoir. At least it will enhance our capacity. And at the same time, also, it will be a benefit to the butchers as well. It will be less time consuming, and I guess we'll get production at top.
Additionally, discussions are underway on introducing sustainable energy solutions to help reduce electricity costs and improve long-term efficiency.
Yes, so that's a very good piece by MTV. Give them all the credit. But you realize there that the equipment was not being maintained. It was broken down. And then this government had to fix it. Yes, there were some new additions, right? They added some new equipment to the whole thing, but it was done. So now they fix it, they bring it to where it's supposed to be, and they're able to use it. So you had NNP being in power for so long, but they never saw the need to maintain anything. They never saw the need to fix anything. So you would get something and it would just work until it can't work anymore because they're not maintaining it, they're not fixing it, and they just would leave it like that. So this government came in and they decided to fix this thing, modernize this thing, because if you don't know, the cows, the goats, the sheep, the pigs, they all have to go in the abattoir to be slaughtered and processed and all kind of stuff, tests and everything like that before it ends up on your plate. All right. So I want to say again, kudos to the Ministry of Agriculture. Kudos to Dr. Cummins and the team. Big up your whole self. P.S. Bagwan and Minister Lennox Andrews. I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. The staff at Maribor. I see the manager of the Maribor facility there. Again, it would enhance everything at Maribor. It would cut down the time for the butchers, and at the end of the day, it would all be good for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And these little things, they go a long way. These little things are very, very important. The Honorable Dennis Cornwall.
The St. Patrick's Cricket Council has received a major financial boost to assist in successfully hosting training and competitions within the parish. Parliamentary representative for St. Patrick East, Honorable Dennis Cornwall, in a move to revitalize cricket in the parish, handed over the cheque to the council's representative, Ricky Williams. This sponsorship marks a pivotal movement for local cricket, which has faced challenges in recent years due to financial constraints. For over 5 years, the council struggled to organize cricket competitions, leaving players and fans longing for the thrill of the game. It will provide the necessary funds to kickstart various cricket activities and leagues.
So, Mr. Rick Williams, President of the St. Patrick Cricket Association, I am pleased to present you with this cheque for the commencement of the cricket competition in the parish of St. Patrick. I know that you would cover St. Patrick in entirety as well as surrounding villages like Tivoli and other locations that are close to St. Patrick, east and west. And so we do hope that this check would basically be a very useful amount of money to help you kickstart the cricket competition in St. Patrick.
Ricky Williams expressed gratitude for the sponsorship. He said the sponsorship will bring the sport back to life and inspire a new generation of players.
On behalf of the St. Patrick's Cricket Council, we want to say thankful here. Really appreciate the effort that you're giving us this to revive cricket in St. Patrick's. So once again, I say thank you very much.
The sponsorship aims to not only revive existing competitions but also to promote grassroots cricket by investing in training and development programs for young athletes. The council plans to organize a series of tournaments and events that will engage the community and encourage participation in the sport.
Yes, so that's very good. You know, many a times you don't see or hear about the things that the MPs in St. Andrew, St. Patrick, St. John, and so on are actually doing. But they're doing stuff. They're working hard in helping their constituents. And I want to this morning applaud the Honorable Dennis Cornwall, MP for St. Patrick East, and the Honorable Joseph Andel, MP for St. Patrick West. Only recently I saw he was out and about engaging his constituents. So I want to applaud him for that.
To present you with these useful items for your farm.
Again, this is the Honorable Dennis Cornwall handing over a tank, water tank to a farmer in St. Patrick East. Again, small as it might be, it will go a long way in helping the farmer. Again, I want to applaud him for that, the Honorable Dennis Cornwall. So things are happening in the outer parishes. It's just that it's not featured or covered often, but we need to reach to that place where we can cover the things that are happening in the outer parishes. I want to, at this point, start by saying the NNP, surrogates, pundits, goons, and also opposition forces, they want bad news to continue. They want to see bad things happen in the country. They want you to view the NDC administration differently. So now Grenada, through Linda Streaker, did a publication, wrote an article online, and it created a buzz, a serious one indeed, where the Honorable Dennis Cornwall, Minister of Finance, made certain pronouncements. And they took it out of context. Not only that, they wanted people to believe that government was taking this money, and it seems as though government is in financial difficulties, when that was not the case. So the former Minister of Finance, Mr. Anthony Boswin, said the following about what the NNP and others were actually pushing regarding this borrowing of $700 or so million to support the budget, particularly capital projects, or specifically capital projects. That is what it was meant to do. Or the message was really to say to the Grenadian people, this is a normal thing, and the government intends to borrow this amount towards capital projects in the country, namely the modern climate smart teaching hospital facility, the school in St. Andrew, we have a new school in St. Andrew to be built, the one in St. David, and some other facilities. So there are a number of things to be done. And the Honorable, former MP for St. Patrick West and the former Minister of Finance, the Honorable, not Honorable, Anthony Boswin, Mr. Anthony Boswin, had this to say.
Former political figure and local economist Anthony Boswin has responded to Finance Minister Honorable Dennis Cornwall's announcement on Tuesday that the government plans to borrow over $700 million to fund the 2025 budget. Cornwall explained that the borrowing is necessary to support upcoming development projects and that the government will increase its use of the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange, ECSE, by auctioning more treasury bills. But Swain described the move as a common practice and commended the government's decision, emphasizing the importance of funding critical development and infrastructure initiatives.
First of all, I applaud the government on this bold initiative, and I will tell you why. In any budget, the first thing we have to be concerned about is the government current operations. Yeah. If the government is generating what they call a current surplus, that is to say, its current revenue is in excess of current expenditure, that is good. If it is in the other way around, I would say, hey, we're heading in the wrong direction. On the capital side, the public sector investment program is what drives economic growth and development in any country. You look at China, look at any country that has developed, and you will see that a robust public sector investment program is key. When you look at Grenada right now, the last budget, $400 million, that is chicken feed in order to bring the infrastructure in Grenada up to a standard where we can say, well, yes, we could keep it or other regional countries.
While the announcement has sparked questions and concerns, Botswain believes the only concern lies in the terms and conditions of the borrowing.
Yeah, so the government going out to borrow $700 million. The first thing I would like to know before I could give a final comment on what terms and conditions, and that is what we have to look at. Is the government borrowing these funds on highly concessionary terms? If that is the case, this is good, and I wish they could borrow even more. Yeah, because you look around, our infrastructure is in a dilapidated state. You look at our city fences, you look at the coronage, you look at so many areas that need significant development. Why are we making a fuss about government's desire to develop? If you are concerned about the government's current spending, I will be with you. But when it comes to the capital expenditure, that is the public sector investment program, which is to drive economic growth, both in the public sector and the private sector. I welcome the government decision to borrow once it is on highly concessionary terms.
Cornwall made the announcement after revealing the date for the reading of the 2025 budget will be pushed back from December 2024 to March 7th, 2025, primarily due to the passage of Hurricane Beryl. For
Right.
MTV News,
So
Terrell
that's a very good piece there by MTV again. And I'm happy that Anthony Boswin explained this in very simple ways and gave the government kudos for going that route, because all previous governments did the same thing. It's just a difference in figure. All previous governments, they borrow to fund, to finance capital projects. It's not that the government doesn't have money, it's just that the government should not take the surplus and the money and the profit, as we would say it, that they have in the coffers and spend it on capital projects just like this. Borrow at concessionary rates and create jobs and opportunity for our people. So kudos to Mr. Anthony Boswin there for speaking truth to power and explaining this, because he has been Minister of Finance. He was once in the driver's seat in that case, so he's just the right person. He's a trained economist. So kudos to you for coming out and explaining this, because the NNP surrogates, goons, zygotes, and sycophants, they're out there trying to spread misinformation, trying to spread lies, trying to concoct stories. Many of them, they're not even versed in economics. Many of them, they don't even understand what this borrowing is all about. But they're quick to throw things out there. I wonder. I read a post from my good partner, PD Francis, and I laughed, because he should know better. The guy should know better, but he's impulsive. He's quick to post stuff and ridicule this and run down government and speak or post stuff that would paint a bad picture. But people are now seeing through those characters by saying, but wait, what really you posting? What are you really talking about? Because so many good things are happening for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So, chief among those projects that the government will be borrowing to fund is the new climate smart teaching hospital.
Welcome to Grenada, the spice island of the Caribbean. Known for its breathtaking beauty, vibrant culture, and now a beacon of medical excellence and innovation. The government of Grenada proudly presents the new Hopevale Climate Smart Medical City. Located in the parish of St. David, this 84-acre medical city is set to revolutionize healthcare, education, and tourism, not just in Grenada, but across the OECS. At the core of this transformation is the new state-of-the-art Smart Research Hospital. Designed with patient-centered care and community engagement in mind, it will provide value-based specialist care, innovation healthcare solutions, industry-leading medical training, and cutting-edge research. From advanced medical oncology and reconstructive plastic surgery to physical therapy, fertility treatment, stem cell therapy, and more, the medical complex and annex will offer a wide range of specialized services, ensuring comprehensive care for all. Adjacent to the hospital, a large medical complex will house private sector and grant-funded services, including a biotech incubator and accelerator, fostering medical and technological advancements. The complex also conveniently features a 4-star luxury hotel, providing comfortable accommodations for recuperating patients, individuals receiving outpatient care, family members and visitors alike. Staff and student accommodations will be located within the medical city, providing easy commutes and an elevated team member experience. With dedicated retirement homes alongside beautiful private residences for doctors, hospital executives, and returning nationals, the complex ensures a holistic community-centered environment for all. Sustainability is at the forefront, with a solar plant providing renewable energy and supporting Grenada's commitment to eco-friendly initiatives. A vibrant array of restaurants, shops, and entertainment facilities, along with fitness and wellness centers, will create a lively and engaging community atmosphere. Beautifully manicured parks, walking, running, and biking trails will offer serene spaces for relaxation and recreation, enhancing the well-being of residents, patients, and visitors alike. Seamlessly connected by a well-designed road network and ample parking ensures easy access to all facilities, providing an efficient experience for everyone. The Hopevale Medical City will be a cornerstone of Grenada's medical and retirement tourism industries, attracting individuals worldwide with its promise of high quality in an environment unmatched in beauty and tranquility. Located just 20 minutes from the capital, St. George, and the airport, Grenada offers an English-speaking, safe, and scenic Caribbean destination conveniently accessible from North America, Europe, and the Latin American region. The Hopevale Climate Smart Medical City is not just a project, it is a vision for the future, a commitment of excellence to the people of Grenada, a beacon of hope for generations to come as we move Grenada forward.
Yes, that's the Climate Smart Teaching Hospital facility. That video there, really professionally done. And I want to thank Miss Etienne for narrating the entire thing. So that is one of the main capital project to be undertaken in 2025, right? They want to commence the process. They want to start the process in 2025. It will take some years to complete, but they need the money. So they need to borrow the money to do such a thing. And that is normal. I remember the government getting access to 100 million US in, is it the Emirates or UAE or one of them, one of those countries, right? And government has not taken a cent from that as yet. So it's money that they have to borrow, but they have access to it, borrow towards capital projects and so on in the country. So the modern teaching hospital facility would see government in need of 540 million EC. That's 200 million US. So you hearing 700 million or 725 million and thinking it's a lot, it's not a lot. And then if you factor in the 2 or 3 schools that they intend to build, that would take up most of that money, right? They would have scrums to do other things. So it's a good move by government to go at it. I want to say here, do not get caught up in the Public Workers Union elections. The Public Workers Union will be having election soon. Do not get caught up in that, particularly those who are politically savvy. This is a union. There is nothing extraordinary about this election. Many a times they would have the election and not many members of that union will even vote or participate. We pray and hope that they will vote and participate, but we will not get pulled into this simple union election. Whoever is putting up themselves to be the next president, the next public relations officer, the next treasurer, the next whatever, we wish them well. We wish them well. But we must never get all caught up, because I realize those on the NNP side, they're pushing a certain group of people. And those on the NDC side, you see that they're pushing a certain group of people. It is a pity that the union has become like this, where you have NNP and NDC, and it's like a political thing. It ought not to be. Because may I add, 6,500, the same. All right? And I would leave that there. So Brian Grimes is not putting himself up for, or to be a candidate to run. But we know why. The guy was defeated. Defeated because the government that he has to deal with is a pro-worker government. And to be antagonistic and to be militant with a government that's your friend, a government who loves workers, you will be defeated. And your standing will be diminished. So it was expected that this guy would not be viable. All right? Because people get to know him over that period, that the guy has no substance. He's just about yap, 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 yap. And he's dabbling in territories that he should never go. Right? In other words, when he spoke about the pension, he was happy for the pension and the gratuity that the government gave to public workers who were fighting for it for years. He was happy that the government honored that for the established workers who retired. But when it came to the unestablished workers, the contract workers, and the government rolled out a new pension for them, he had all kinds of stuff to say. And people start seeing through the guy. And on other matters, the regularization of workers, the government continues to regularize workers, to make them permanent. But the guy was very critical of the process and other things. So the route he took caused him not to be a viable candidate for re-election within the Public Workers Union. Because you're talking about a government who paid the pension and gratuity, gave workers 13% increase without them having to go on the streets and march for it with all the fringe benefits. The government paid the doc salaries, the TAMCC lecturers, faculty, in whom the union represents. They got their money, they're happy, they went back to work because under the NNP it was just protest, 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 protest. Then the regularization, the bi-monthly salary payments, the new pension. So a number of good things, the minimum wage, a number of good things have happened for the workers because the government see it necessary to treat the workers the right way. The unions didn't have to march and protest and all that kind of stuff for it. So going against that, it would cause you to lose your standing among the workers. But Daisy and Brian Grimes, they're not that different. They're not that different. They're very, very close and there is similarities. But again, I'm saying we must never make this a NNP versus NDC thing. The workers, they must choose the people who they believe can properly represent them. Because it comes across like what the NNP did between Peter David and Emlyn Pay and the executive of the NNP. It comes across like that. And that is why the NNP today is suffering so badly with resignation upon resignation upon resignation. You don't try to impose people on other people. It will have damaging implications. So, I believe the members of the union, they need to determine who they want to lead them or to be a part of the executive of that union. Just like I was saying to a good friend, look at the business community. They're united. They're not stupid. When NNP was in power, who was the senator responsible for the business community in the country? A person who everyone knows his political affiliation and where he stands politically, right? When NDC came in power, what you saw, they changed the individual and they put someone who everyone knows where he stands. So the business community, they know that they have to be able to deal with everybody, and particularly the government. So you don't want somebody who would be antagonistic, who would be always picking a fight unnecessarily so, who would always be arrogant, ignorant of the fact that this government is for you, working in your best interest. Because you have a pro-worker government and a pro-business government. So the business community, they red flag that. Or they identify that from day one and they're capitalizing on it. So why the unions can't do the same thing? So I am saying it should never be a situation of NNP versus NDC, and you have NNP pundits and surrogates and podcasters and so on posting certain things and pushing certain agenda, and the NDC podcasters and supporters and so on pushing a certain agenda. No, it should be in the best interest of the worker or the workers of the Public Workers Union, the members. So I don't think it's a prudent thing to be campaigning for one person or campaigning for that other person. What I think must happen, we should just allow the process to flow, right? I'm happy that we were able to see the end of Brian Grimes as president of that union, because he indicated he's not going up for office to be the president of that union again, meaning in that cycle, that upcoming election. So I'm happy he's no longer there, but 6.5 is the same. Daisy Hazard, we know how close she is with him within the union space. Also, we know her rhetoric. All right. But I would not get involved in all of this internal mess and all this voting stuff for this union. This union is not too important in the scheme of things because you have a pro worker government. You have a government who loves workers and who wants good for workers. So they are not too important because the government would go ahead and bring benefits, bring betterment, bring opportunities for the workers anyway. All right? They have done it in the last 2.5 years, and they continue to do so. So there is no need for anybody to be militant and to be fighting and wrestling with government. That's unnecessary. But folks, I want to thank you very much for being a part of the program. I want to wish you all the best. I'm back, and I'll be back tonight in the hub starting from 8 in